Hey everyone, welcome back. Alright, looks like the bike is about 80% done. I have the crankcase breather routed all the way back here, and I'm going to get rid of this filter and put like a catch can instead. With the fuel lines routed, I got all the wires taped up and clamped up nice and neat. Connected the battery and the battery tender. Got the exhaust in place. And got the suspension reservoir secure. I installed the chain and put a new master link in. So far so good. Everything looks great. I bled the clutch, so it's nice and firm. So now I'm just going to take you through the fitment of the airbox, and if I can just find a secure place for the camera. Let's sit it right here. Gonna have to put heat to these fuel cables, fuel lines, because they're real stiff. So basically, as you can see, the airbox finally clears the clamp, and you will be able to get it tight once you have the carbs installed. So you're going to stick the carb in the hole, and you'll be able to take the long screwdriver and tighten it down. So I'm going to go ahead and get the carb secure, and then start rolling the camera again. Take these boots, I had them upside down. You want to have these openings towards the bottom because it angles the screw towards the top and makes it easier to get to. So here, let me put this down again, and I'm going to stick the camera in here where you guys can see it. Alright, so there you have it. Clamps are in place. And you can get to them with the screw. As a matter of fact, let me walk over here, grab my carb screw. As you can see, you can get to it. There you go. Problem solved. So the way I have the cables routed, and this is going to be a temporary solution. They're actually going to go through the airbox, and then they're going to connect with the carb somewhere around here. At some point I'm going to get custom cables to come straight and route just like that, but I'm going to have to call Motion Pro and have a custom set made. So I'm going to go ahead and get the airbox on, get the carbs clamped on first, and then I'll start rolling the camera again so you guys can see it. Gonna need some light, guys. Alright guys, carbs are firmly in place. They are not moving out of there. Alright, so the next part is the only part that is just a little bit difficult, that I don't have a resolution right now. I'm going to need some custom throttle cables. I may have mentioned that already. So for the time being, I'm just using the pull cable, and as you can see down here, the flat sides have a strong spring. It will not let the cable stay wide open. I'm just going to be using the pull cable, and that has to be routed through the front piece of the airbox. I could do two, but I won't have any way to adjust the cable. So what I did was cut temporary holes in the airbox, and I'll be patching these up. don't know if you can see that. I cut temporary holes, and this one I did a little bit too big because I was routing two at one point, just to route the throttle line through it. So I'm going to go ahead, route that, and then I'm going to put something protective on this cable here, to not let it get snagged on anything inside the cabin. So I'm going to set the camera back down, hang tight. And of course, I would be doing the wrong cable. So, have the pull cable routed through the airbox here, and for the time being, before I patch that up with fiberglass, I'm just going to maybe put some Gorilla Tape over it. And it's going through the hole down here. You can't really see it, but I'm going to cover this end of the airbox, and then I'm going to stuff it nice and neat somewhere underneath it. So hang on, I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. I'm going to use some leftover tube to do that, and we should be good to go. Hang tight, guys. Alright everyone, this is everything fully installed with the exception of the airbox cover, and as you can see, we have the pull cable and the push cable is routed under there in a hose so it doesn't get snagged. Got the fuel lines, the carbs are clamped down nice and tight. And that's it. That's it. Got the ignite tuck back here. I'm going to have to tuck that in nice and neat. And I'm going to do something with this hose and filter. This hose is just going to run into a catch box for the vent, but the vent line is running all the way down the length of the bike, and that's okay. I didn't have anywhere else to put it. Maybe at some point I'll put a line into the airbox, but I need some elbow connectors, which the auto parts store was sold out. They didn't have it. So that's how she's looking. I'm gonna go ahead and get the top piece of the airbox installed and roll the camera again so you guys can see an update. Bike's coming along great. I got a little bit of an oil leak on the other side by the clutch gasket. Not sure what that's about, but I am gonna have to drain the oil, and I mean, it's a very slow leak, but I'm gonna have to drain it and maybe reposition the gasket, find out what's going on with that. Really happy with being able to finally get this worked out, and can't wait to get this thing running. And here it is. The airbox has been installed with the carbs and clamped down. That's it. That's how she's gonna look. Now there's a little opening here on the edges, but I'm gonna be covering that with Gorilla Tape. I probably won't use foam. I don't want to risk the foam getting sucked into the engine, so I'm just gonna cover that with Gorilla Tape. And everything sits nice and snug, and it's a very tight fit. Everything is a tight fit. My fingers are sore from all the pinching and manipulating that I had to do, but I like a tight fit because it's not flimsy. You see, nothing is moving. It's very, 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 very snug and tight, and that's how it should be. Really happy with how that came out. Obviously, you never know how things are going to be until you put it on the abuse of the racetrack, but with the way that's looking right now, I am super pleased. These fuel lines were very, very hard at first. I had to put the heat gun to it to get them to soften up so I could bend them. And you know, guys, this is probably a good investment if you don't have. I mean, I got this from Harbor Freight. It wasn't expensive. It was like $20 or something like that, and it has a lot of settings here. It gets really hot, and pretty much you can put on anything that needs to be softened up. You can put it on a low setting and soften up decals to take off stickers and all of that. So that's it. And man, I got a little bit of an oil leak at the clutch cover, and I'm really annoyed about that. I'm gonna have to pull this apart and figure out what's going on with that. But really strange how that thing is leaking. But that's it. So waiting for an O-ring to come in for this so I can fill up the radiator, and then I'm gonna pull that front wheel off and change the rotors, or the pads. I'm not really sure yet. For whatever reason, the front is dragging, so I'm not sure if the rotor's warped or if it's just the wrong pad for the rotor. But I got to do that. So may actually drain that oil one more time, figure out what's going on with that clutch cover. So that's it. And then she can go outside. Once I fill the radiator up, we'll do the first start and let her idle for about 3 minutes, and then the final phase will be the body work. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to the body work. I may just put the body work on and just revisit it at a later date, you know, when I can find a good painter in the area, or it may get warm enough and then I can paint it. But I don't know, I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. So that's it for this episode. I don't really think there's any more to show you at this point, other than the next time we get it running, and you know, we'll do the video of the first start. So hope you're enjoying what you see. If you have any questions about what you saw today, please feel free to post in the comment section. And if you're enjoying the content, feel free to subscribe. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, guys.